Dr. Monique Middlecoff.
And I'm Natalie Hodson.
And we're here to help you understand how to do the exercises for week 1. We wanted to give you a visual and verbal instruction so that you can follow along too. Natalie is going to be demonstrating the exercise in week 1 and you'll hear my voice as we follow along the instructions.
Hey guys, in just a second I'm going to hop on the floor and demonstrate to you how to do each of the exercises in this week's action plan. But real quickly before I hop into that, I wanted to briefly go over what we mean when we say engage your pelvic floor muscles. So we have a full video on our YouTube channel where we go into a lot of detail with pictures and things like that, but I real quickly wanted to give you a quick reminder and overview of what we mean by that. So it's going to be 4 different movements that's going to create one fluid motion. So I always think squeeze, 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 lift. And those 3 movements are going to create your pelvic floor contraction. So what you're going to do is think of, and I am like a 5th grader, I still blush when I say the word sphincter, but you're going to think of first squeezing or contracting your anal sphincter, 2nd squeezing the muscles in your vagina, 3rd squeezing the muscles in your urethra, which would be like stopping the flow of urine, and 4 lifting your pelvic floor muscles. And a lot of people say, well, what do you mean exactly by lifting your pelvic floor muscles? So the way that Monique showed me and was most helpful to help me understand that was, and I know, I get that this is going to look really funny, but that's okay. I want you guys to actually practice this at home. Maybe go into a room where nobody else is watching. What you're going to do is just take your hand and put it right here on your crotch, and you're just going to lift up. And we don't actually want you to use your hand each time you're contracting your muscles. We're just using your hand to help you understand that lifting feeling is what you want to recreate when you're lifting your pelvic floor muscles. So you're going to start right here and you're just going to lift up just like it felt when you lifted up with your hand. And so again, you're not going to use your hand every time. In fact, you won't even see anything happening on the outside when you're doing these first couple exercises, but it's all going to be happening internally. So you're going to go squeeze your anal sphincter, squeeze the muscles of your vagina, squeeze your urethra, lift those pelvic floor muscles.
Okay, this is Monique Middlecoff and Natalie Hodson is demonstrating our exercise today. First, we're going to start with our pelvic floor strengthening exercise. And we know that we have 2 of them. One of them is a pelvic floor contraction using the endurance contraction. One of them is a pelvic floor contraction using the strength contraction. So I'm going to read these instructions exactly the way it's written for you so that you can follow along and make sure that you're doing these exercises right as well. So if you have a difficult time squeezing and holding for the whole 10 seconds, that's okay. Don't give yourself any pressure. Contract as long as you possibly can. Rest, take a break. When you lose that contraction, hop right back in it. Just as a reminder, our goal is to get to 10 seconds at one time. Okay, so let's start with our pelvic floor contraction endurance. Natalie is already in the perfect position, but to do this for yourself, you want to lie down on your back, put your feet comfortably on the floor with your hands on the floor at your side. Gently tighten and hold your pelvic floor muscles. Hold this contraction for 10 seconds. You can use a stopwatch if you want to. Breathe normally as you go through the exercise. As soon as you hit 10 seconds, rest, relax, and repeat. Great, we want to rest for 30 seconds. Repeat this 2 times for a total of 3 sets. The second exercise is a pelvic floor contraction using the strength contraction. We're also in the same position for this, so Natalie's showing it in the right posture, lying down on your back, feet comfortably on the floor, hands on the floor at your side. Tighten and squeeze your pelvic floor muscles. Squeeze them now as hard as you can. After a full contraction, completely relax and let go. Breathe normally through this exercise. Rest for 30 seconds and repeat this one so that we have a total of 10 repetitions done for 3 total sets. Okay, the next exercise is a lying overhead reach. So Natalie is in the perfect position to start the lying overhead reach. So we want to lie down on your back, put your feet comfortably on the floor, your hands on the floor at your side. Activate the muscles of the core, which means engage the muscles of the abdomen, press your lower back into the floor, and now with straight elbows, lift your arms overhead, coming as close to the floor as possible without losing core support. As soon as you hit that fully extended position, slowly bring your arms back to the starting position. We want to rest for 60 seconds after you're done with this entire set. and then repeat this entire set 2 more times so that we have a total of 3 sets. Okay, next is our glute bridge. This is an exercise you might be familiar with. You're already in the perfect position, lying down on your back, feet comfortably on the floor with your hands on the floor at your side. This time you want to tighten and squeeze your pelvic floor muscles, activating the muscles of the glutes, lifting the hips off the ground until you reach a straight line from your shoulders all the way down to your knees. Hold briefly for a count of 1 and slowly lower back to the starting position. When you do this exercise, you want to repeat this 1 more time after you've rested for 60 seconds for a total of 2 sets. Great. Our next exercise is called knee to chest. So when we do this exercise, we're already starting in the right position. So we want to lie down on the floor, put your feet comfortably on the floor and your hands flat on the floor at your sides. We're activating the muscle of the core, pressing your lower back into the floor. Now to start the motion, you want to slowly bring one knee into the chest, hold briefly for a count of 1, and gently bring your foot back to the floor. We want to switch and repeat the motion using the other leg. We're going to do 10 on each side to account for 20 total repetitions. We'll rest for 60 seconds and then repeat this 1 more time to end up with 2 total sets. For this next one, Natalie is going to change her posture as we start the modified bird dog. Okay, so to begin this exercise, we want to begin on all fours with our knees and hands comfortably on the floor. To do this, we'll activate the muscles of the core, providing a brace to resist the shifting body weight. We want to gently lift one hand off the ground and extend the elbow and the shoulder until the arm is overhead in line with the spine. Great. Comfortably return the hand to the floor and repeat the motion using the opposite arm. Great. Gently return to starting position. We want to rest for 60 seconds and repeat 1 time for a total of 2 sets. Okay, we're already in the proper position for this next exercise, which is called the modified cat-cow. To start this exercise, you want to begin on all fours, just as Natalie is showing. Relax the muscles of the abdomen completely, so the muscles of the front side of the abdomen totally relax. So we want to relax the pelvis, allowing it to tip forward, creating a bit of an arch in the spine. Allow the motion to begin in the abdomen, contracting the transversus abdominis, pulling your belly button upward until we reach a fully straight spine. Good. Now contract again, moving the belly button as high as possible, allowing the pelvis to tuck and the shoulders to round. Good. Gently return to the starting position. We want to rest for 60 seconds and repeat 1 more time for a total of 2 sets. Okay, this last exercise, we need a prop for this one because this is our sit to stand. It's the last exercise in week 1. So to do this, you can choose a chair height that feels best for you. We know that it'll feel just a little bit different for every single person depending on your fitness level. So you could choose a chair that's higher if you're working on increasing your strength. You can choose a chair that's a little bit lower if you want to give yourself more of a challenge. So when we start the sit to stand, you want to begin in a seated position, ideally using a non-cushion chair if possible. So you want to verify proper alignment, breathing, and pelvic floor support. Extend your arms out in front of the body, activate your glutes, and slowly stand up. Good. Gently return to a seated position. And if you have difficulty standing with your arms extended initially, that's okay, to help yourself out using your hands initially. Return to the seated position. We want to rest for 60 seconds and repeat for another set. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you watching our video. Have a wonderful day and let us know if you have any questions.